Hey there, welcome back. Today I was going to do something a little bit different, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to walk you through my process in editing my videos. I do everything from my phone, so I'm going to do a screen record, let y'all and just kind of walk you through it. I know I've been having trouble with my videos with syncing issues. And while I edit, I'll kind of explain why that's happening or why I think it's happening and the fix I think I've gotten set up. But I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera because y'all don't need to be watching me stare at a screen. So let me turn off the camera. Okay, now I'm ready to go. Now, that's my younger son and my daughter. I love my kids, but I do everything through. I record through the X recorder. They're at the top, the third one in the top row. That's my screen recording program I use, and I record with CapCut. So I'm going to be record or editing the Bandmade song "Don't Let Me Down" that I actually just recorded a little while ago today. And I'm going to kind of walk you through this. So open the new project, and I've got my intro and outro pre set up. So I just pick it, then I pick the videos I'm adding, which I did both the music video and the live, and then my intro and my outro, and then my outro video, and I add those, and then I just start scrubbing. And the first thing I do is I switch all the transitions. I have my specific transition I always use. It's the black smoke. CapCut is. I'm really enjoying using CapCut. I'll explain a couple of things that I don't like about it, but in general, it's a really great program. I always set my transitions to 2.5 seconds, and I apply to everything, and that's good. And then I start doing my overlay, my text overlay. I don't start it at the beginning of the thing. I usually let it to because I want it to dissolve in with the smoke. Then I hit text and then add text, and okay, and then I go over to the font. This is one of the parts of CapCut I don't like. Their fonts are always in different places, and I'm not able to make like a favorite. So I have to go through and every time I use it, or every day I use it, like it moves by day. Once if I'm editing several videos at the same time, the options generally stay in the same place, but the next day it'll be slightly different. There it is. The EVORA is the one I use, Evora. But the good thing about it is once I choose it, everything, all the other text I put in it, as long as I don't change the font, will appear as the same font. So I don't have to go hunt it every time. Then I move it over where I want it. Oh, and then I forgot to put the animation. Then I put the animation on it. For the band and song title, I always do the same thing. I always do the dissolve. So I have to hunt down where the dissolve is. It's right here. That's for the in. And then when it goes out, the dissolves, or for some reason, it's always in the same place for the outro, the out part of the thing. And then I grab it, and I always do my dissolves for 1 second, in and out. Put this back up where it belongs. So now I've got my title card. And then I grab it and I stretch it for the entire intro. And again, I don't put it right at the end of the section. I always do it a little bit so it kind of is dissolving with the smoke. That's what I like it to do. And I come back over here and I'm looking for the section that's is the request. So I kind of hunt for where it starts where I say the word request.
This was requested by...
And then I start a little before that, and then I hit add text again. And requested by... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Get off there. Get off there. But I had to backspace one because if I hit the, hit the auto select, it adds a space behind it. And there were 3 people. So generally, I don't need the... Generally, if there's 2, I'll just do the text all together. But since there's 3, I want the names to fade in and out. So I'll put the requested by right about there. I'll do the animation. For the requested, I always do the jolt forward. And I do the jolt forward for 2.5 seconds.
It was requested by Shiganasana.
And then I tell it okay. Then I stretch it out a little bit so I have a little bit more room. Then I go back into it, go back to animation and out, and then I dissolve. I go back to dissolve, and the dissolve for this one I do for 1.5 seconds. I've kind of decided these times very arbitrary. So then I come back to the beginning of the requested, and I do I do a new text box, bring it down, and then put in my first suggestion. So it's Shiganasana. So SUGAAN SSEN. Oh, and then she's actually, or that person's actually requested enough that it's in my auto fill, so I can just do that. And then I do the animated, and for the first one coming in, it jolts in with the requested by, again for 2.5 seconds.
It was requested by...
Hit that, then I stretch it out, not that far. And when I'm adding the names separately, I generally do them for 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there is where I want it. So I bring it back to there. Go back into it and animate the out animation, which I do is just dissolve. But since like I said, these numbers are kind of arbitrary, but I do them the same every time. So when I'm doing multiple dissolves, I do the 1 second dissolve. So I do that. Then I come 2.5 seconds, 1, 2.5. And I add the next one, which is Davy Boyd. And it's a BOYD. I'll bring it down a little bit. I have to adjust the height of these to get it to where it's not too crowded. Try to keep it centered and up. There we go. That's enough room. Now I'll go back to the Davy board. I need the animation, and this one is just going to dissolve in. Or no, wait, sorry. I do have these jolt forward. There it is. I have each name jolt forward for 2.5 seconds. Do that. Stretch it out a little bit so that I can get the out animation. Honestly, I don't know how many people are actually interested in this, and I do it for 1 second. I mean, I understand if people aren't going to watch this, but I thought it would be cool to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So halfway between those 2 seconds is the 5 seconds. And I come back right here, add text again, and this is the third one. You've seen me do this with the warning videos I've been doing that have had 7, 8, 9 people requesting them. That I've done this. It takes forever to do those ones. Although I love that I get that many requests. I really do love it, and I appreciate it. Dang it! I keep putting the controls for my screen record in the wrong spot. 0 T Z E R O. Okay, and then animate this one. When I'm doing it without talking about it, I actually have gotten relatively quick about doing this.
And zero T's.
I've kind of been impressed with myself and how quick I can edit one of the simpler ones. Animation out, go down to dissolve again. And this is the final one, so I'm actually going to put it at 1.5 seconds. I don't have enough room. 1.5 seconds to match the requested text box. So they dissolve at the same time. Oh, I've already picked this. I need to put 1.5 seconds. I need that to be 5 seconds long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I bring the requested box back to match that so that they're together and they dissolve together. And these jolt forward together. And then the next one jolts forward, and then the next one jolts forward. So that's just, I mean, I'm very new at editing videos, and this is I've been doing this for about 2 months now, 2.5 months maybe. And before that, I had no experience with editing. So then I scrub through the video, the actual music videos, and I play a little bit of it just to kind of make sure the sound's okay. And then I'll find a spot where I'm talking, make sure
The drums.
the audio's still good.
Drums are.
I really dug this song, by the way. This was a really cool song. But then I kind of just scrub through. I'm looking. I'm doing this all on my phone, and I turn off notifications. But as y'all have seen on some of my videos, that doesn't necessarily block all notifications. So every once in a while, a notification will pop up, and then I block it with a black bubble just to keep that, because sometimes it's like, text or stuff that people it doesn't need to be public. So so then I just scrub through all this, then I get through this, and then there's where it was a transition. I make sure the transition stays the same. When I first started doing this, I was doing a different type of transition for that, but I decided that I'll just leave it the same. That black smoke works really well, and I don't want to seem like I'm trying to be super pretentious or anything. But then I come back, since this is a separate video, I want to check the audio again. So the audio sounds good. Then I find another place where, again, that it was me talking over.
I like watching the music videos, but I just love like.
Yep, sounds good. Although one thing I've noticed while recording, ever since I've been doing this, I never realize how much I talk with my hands. I hope that doesn't bug people, or my hands are constantly flashing up into the screen. I never realized how much I talk with my hands. Yeah, so I just scrub through the video, make sure there's and I get to this, and then I'll go to the end, and sometimes I'll accidentally have recorded too much. So the song's over, but I still have all this stuff I'm doing. So I get to the song bit over, make sure there's no more audio coming, and then you go back here to the edit, and then split. Now I made that a separate part of the video, and then I can just delete that out of there. Only problem is when I do that, it creates a new transition, it doesn't match the other transitions. So I can either go back into that and just recreate the transition, or just run to another transition real quick. There's another transition right back here. And I just open that up and apply to all, and now that's fixed that transition. Then I come over here to my outro and re-add the title card. Go to text, add text. Band Maid. Don't let me down. Go to animation, and again, I do dissolves for this. 1 second dissolves in and out.
With
And every time I
don't.
click on something, it automatically plays a
Okay.
small section of the video. Then I move this up where it belongs. Hit OK, and then grab it and stretch it for the entire outro. I like having the, and y'all know what band and song I'm doing, but I like to have it actually up on my videos. It's just a decision I made on that. So now it's ready. Now I've looked at, now this is I made my outro. Actually, I made this outro in CapCut as well and saved it as a video. My patrons, hopefully someday I'll get more patrons and I'll just be adding to this screen right here. But then I usually scrub right back to the beginning just to take another quick look, make sure there's no weird visual things on it. Like I said, I really dug this song. I love the main riff with Konami and Misa. So I'll go back to the beginning, and there's my custom intro I again created in CapCut. And there you have it. That's how I edit it. Now, what I do up here in the top corner is the arrow up, is how you export it. That's where my trouble comes in. The export, when I export it out, that's where the sync problems happen. Now, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long the video is, to do the export. And then before I was just kind of glancing at it, I thought, as long as it was even in the editor, I was cool. But then y'all kept telling me it was out of sync, and I kept looking into it, trying to figure out a way to do it. And it's actually in the export when it changes. And I'm going to end this video real quick. I'll probably edit it back together. But I'm going to export it. I'm not going to export it on video. And then I will, if it's got a problem with sync, I'll open it back up and show you what I do to try to fix the sync. But until then, I hope you found this interesting. I actually am finding myself enjoying the actual editing of the videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. So I'll talk to y'all next time. Okay, I just finished exporting it, and I reviewed the video. And the music parts are in sync, but my intro and outro are out of sync. So I'm going to show you how I have fixed that. First thing I do, because I want this raw file saved, so I don't want to mess it up. So I duplicate it, and now I have that's the band Maid-Don't Let Me Down. That's how I name them, just the first letter of each word. So now I go into the duplicate, and the way I was shown, or I researched it and how I was able to fix it, and it's worked on a couple videos so far. So I choose this section of the video. Then I have to extract the audio, which is new for extract audio right here. It takes a second, and it'll extract the audio into a separate file. And now I go to there and I expand or zoom in until I'm seeing the different frames. Instead of the time, I'm actually can see each individual frame. And what I want to do is move the frame, move the audio. See, the audio goes before the video when it's out of sync. So I need to move the audio backwards. And what I was told, or what the video that explained how to fix it, said move it 10 frames. So I'm at the 23rd frame, and each second is 30 frames. So I want to move it from the 23 to 3. So I want to grab the audio section and move it. I move it a little at a time so it doesn't jolt. It'll sometimes jerk forward and the video will like slide over really bad. So I want to get it to where it's right about, and I don't know how perfect it needs to be, because when you're talking about frames, if it's relatively close, it's good enough. So I get it right there, line up. So now the audio is 10 frames I'm purposely lagging the audio by 10 frames. And then this will take forever. Then I gotta zoom it back out to the time, so I'm not fighting it like that. And then I shoot across the video. Like I said, the video turned out to be fine. The actual music videos. After I extracted it. So I zip back over here to my outro, which is also out of sync. The music videos may have been slightly out of sync, but it wasn't terrible. And I'm not going to fight, for like 3 frames. So now I chose my outro, and I need to come over here again and extract the audio again. Where'd that go? Extract the audio from this section. And then again, mix the audio a separate file, which I didn't know. For the longest time, I didn't know I could do this. Was literally, I was talking to a guy at work who does some video editing on this. He's the one that showed me how to do this, to extract the audio. So the audio, this starts on frame 26. So I want to drag it to frame 6. So grab it, move it a little bit at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and line my guideline up to 6, and then I do that, boom. And now it should be good. I'm going to have to extract it again, which again, this was a long video, so it's going to take, how long was this video? It's 14 minutes long. So this might take a little bit to extract, so I'm going to shut down my recording again and come back in, and hopefully it'll be perfect. Okay, I have finished exporting the second one, so I'm going to bring up the first one, the video player, and I'm basically going to let you see what the original bad sync was. So get it.
Doing their song "Don't Let Me Down."
See how off the audio is on
live. This was
on the intro, and it's just as bad on the outro, which I don't understand why.
There's
nothing when the actual videos were good. See how far that is off.
They are so.
And now this is the fixed version. By just shifting that over.
By Shiganessanen.
See, it's perfect now. Just shifting the audio over by 10 frames. And it just fixes it. I really don't understand why. I don't understand
I love everything they do. They're just so freaking good.
I just don't understand why some sections of the export desync, but other sections of the export doesn't desync. So it just makes no sense to me. But that's just. It is what it is. Let me turn my camera back on real quick. It's just it just adds so much more time to the edit, because the longest part of the edit is exporting it, and I have to wait and then see if it's wrong, and if it is wrong, I have to go back in and redo the edit, and then export it again and hope it fixed it, because if it didn't fix it, then I'm going to go back in and do it again. So that's why it's taken me so long to fix the syncing issues. I hope I have. I really, really appreciate you guys sticking through, even though I know how annoying it is to have that the audio not match up with the video. It's very annoying, but I appreciate y'all sticking with me. It means the world to me, and I hope y'all enjoyed this behind the scenes. I'm going to do another video kind of showing y'all. It won't be this long, but I'm going to give like a basic rundown of my setup for recording. But till next time, I will talk to y'all later. I appreciate all of y'all's help.